we're gonna bring you the segment we teased a little bit in the beginning. Walk the plank, arg, matey. That's my pirate. Sorry. Oh, I'm a
First
big
time
fan of
wasn't too
Jack
bad.
Sparrow, and yeah, I'm a big fan. Well, I've worked on it for years. I could have done better. I should have done better. It's all right. Okay, so we're gonna give you five team. I'm gonna name you five teams. I'm gonna start one by one, and you're gonna tell me: are you walking the plank on them, or are you staying on ship? You're going down with the ship. So let's kick it off with the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin, are you walking the plank, Mike?
Nah, not at all. I'm not walking the plank on the Chargers. And if you are, you're absolutely nuts. Just don't. It's too early. I get the concerns, the injuries, they happen. Some teams are just plagued with injuries, and I feel bad. This team has went from franchise quarterback to franchise quarterback, and all that happens is pain. Nothing but injuries surrounding these guys. So, as much as it sucks, I do believe the tide is turning for the Chargers and that franchise. Justin Herbert is the guy. They have the receivers, they have the roster to do it. They just need to get healthy. Healthy. I think everybody just needs to be on the Tom Brady method because that guy's 45 years old, still rolling on the field. So somebody needs to be out. Alex Guerrero should be hired by maybe all 32 teams.
Hell no, am I walking the plank? You know how much hate we give the Packers for winning just two Super Bowls in 30 years of having two MVP quarterbacks? The Chargers have had two Hall of Fame talents, and how many playoff wins? How many times went to the Super Bowl? It is the most unbelievable thing. And like I said to you, Brandon, you had this as a top five team. Brandon Staley, defense last week, had 38 points hung up on them. No J.C. Jackson in that game. But here's the thing. You lose Rashawn Slater for the entire season at left tackle. And without him, what do we see? Justin Herbert, who's playing through the rib cartilage injury, constantly under duress. And this receiving core, without Keenan Allen, Mike Williams is their go-to man. He's not an elite level separator. They're missing that as well. Man, let me tell you, Brand Staley is not only on the hot seat, the Chargers made a massive, and I mean massive mistake, not going out and getting a Brian Dable. Look at what he's doing now with the Giants. The Giants are a good football team, and they have a better record than the Chargers. It speaks volumes to maximizing your talents, and he just simply hasn't. He has one more year. If they don't make the playoffs this year, you miss the playoffs both years with all this talent in this roster. I don't care if how many guys are injured. I know Joey Bosa is going to miss some time week to week as well. That dude can't be back. It's an absolute shame. I mean, Rashawn Slater last year was second team All-Pro. It definitely hurts losing him, and an offensive line's not going to be the same. But Herbert, guys, is a top five quarterback. How the hell are you going to miss the playoffs 2 straight years with him? He's producing at that level, and he makes the most unbelievable throws.
Everybody can be top five. Okay, let me tell you, John.
Wait, John sounds like
That's what I'm saying. He sounds like he's trying to walk the plank. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this favor for you, John. I'm walking the plank. I'm out. Done. Want to know why? A lot of the reasons Sean just said. Sorry, I want to get his name. Rashawn Slater's out. Herbert's dealing with the rib cartilage. He's only playing football every week. It's not going to get better before it's going to get worse. Keenan Allen has missed time. Joey Bosa's on IR. He underwent surgery, I believe. He'll be back, but how soon? J.C. Jackson, while he played last week, didn't look that good, didn't play this week, still up in the air. And the biggest concern I have for the Chargers, I said it before the season, I said they're a top five team with the talent I see. My major concern was Brand Staley. And I'm disappointed in another Brandon. Like, get it together, man. All right. But you're not going to get it together because you're probably going to be out of a job, like John said, at the end of the year. I don't know. When I say I'm walking the plank, I mean I'm walking the plank. They're not a top five team anymore, and they're not making a Super Bowl. I think I had them making the Super Bowl. If I did, I'm out on that. They're not making the Super Bowl. Let's hope they can make the playoffs.
So I made two mistakes. A clerical error. I just saw now that Bosa is put on IR. The last time I checked, a couple of hours ago, it was week to week. So if you lose him for at least a month, the year, they may, in this division, hell, lose more games than they win. And I made a mistake at the beginning. I guess I am walking the plank. I completely misspoke if I'm out on this team. Totally
That's
not
all right.
in. They might miss
Yeah,
the
we're both out.
playoffs. I think they
All right,
more likely to than not.
next one of Justin's top 5 teams, the Indianapolis Colts. You walking the plank, Justin?
You know what? I'm not walking the plank on them. I'm sending them to Davy Jones' locker. I'm just leaving them there for a little bit. But I am happy they beat the Chiefs, and things like we mentioned before, we wouldn't have been surprised if they came out and beat them. They had the talent to do it, and it was just more so about putting it together. Matt Ryan, we all said he's not the guy. Obviously, we don't think that this guy is going to lead them to a Super Bowl, but obviously, I still believe this division is theirs, and I think teams would be afraid to walk up against them in the playoffs. You just never know. This is a team that can actually surprise you. It's one of those, they're probably not the scariest team, but you also wouldn't be surprised if they beat a team like a Baltimore Ravens or a Kansas City Chiefs, as long as they're not walking into Arrowhead, but which they likely will.
Man, I'm walking the plank. Oh my goodness. One of the most fascinating things in sports is those position groups or those parts of the game that you can evaluate with stats. The Colts offensive line, since it has Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, and Brandon Smith, we view it as a top tier offensive line, but it is nowhere near that level. And it wasn't last year, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt due to injuries and a myriad of circumstances. This year it's shown again, dude, you can have a good offensive line for 2 years, and that brand value will take you almost a decade. It's how Marquise Pouncey was making Pro Bowls well after his prime. The Colts offensive line is an issue. It is not only overrated, it has taken multiple steps back. Jonathan Taylor, for as much of a workhorse as he was last year, this offense just lacks dynamicism outside of Michael Pittman. For as awesome as he is, there's no one else. And Matt Ryan, he just beat the Chiefs in that game by making the smart plays. In the ways that Carson Wentz would have gotten excited, tries to make a throw downfield, and misfires and kind of ruins the game for the Colts, Matt Ryan was just able to lead the offense and through pressure somehow. I mean, the amount of shenanigans it took the Colts to win that game was unbelievable. That's not happening again, especially at home as well. They didn't have Darius Leonard, but they were so lucky to beat Kansas City. If they just had Harrison Butker, that game would have been over. The entire 9 yards of special teams mishaps is what happened just for the Colts to barely squeak out a victory. I'm so out on this team. I had them making the playoffs convincingly. The Jaguars are a better football team right now than the Colts. It's just the reality, and you have to accept that at this point.
Yeah. So I think we should probably clarify what walk the plank means. Like, does it mean
For me,
we're out on them as the playoffs, or is it like, no more Super Bowl aspirations, or
the hype.
the hype? Is
Are
the
they going
hype
to
real
fail?
base? Okay, gotcha. Okay. So with the Colts, I mean, I had them winning the division. I think there's still a chance. The Jaguars have looked good. Maybe Justin was more right than both of us, where I thought it might not be this year, but it would be next year where Trevor Lawrence took that real step. Looks like the whole team is taking this step forward now. And it's not a coincidence. Doug Peterson's in and Urban Meyer's gone. But on the Colts, I mean, I picked them against the Chiefs. It's so hard. They're not making a Super Bowl. I think they're going to make the playoffs. They're a scary team for any team to face because they play that brand of football you don't want to see. But I'm not high on them. So, yeah, I guess I'm walking the play. I'm out. Yeah. Yeah.
If there is one silver lining, like I say, 3 most important things: coach, defense, and quarterback. I think it's a B across the board for the Colts. And that defense could be an A, quite honestly, with the amount of upside it has. Their next 5 weeks, Broncos this week, then the Jaguars at home. 2 very winnable games: Titans, Commanders, Patriots, Raiders. They can go 4-2 in that stretch.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at them at 5-3-1, which probably would put them at number 1 in the division. Now, after that, they had to play Philadelphia, Pittsburgh when TJ Watt's back, Dallas when Dak Prescott's back, the Vikings in the middle of December, the Chargers when they're more healthy, hopefully, with Joey Bosa, and then the Giants. So that's a tough way to end the season.
Yeah. All right. Next up, you're both high on it, so I'm going to kick it to John first with this one. The San Francisco 49ers. John, you walking the plank?
I'm walking the plank.
He's out. He's out. He's leaving. Abandon ship.
Did I say it the wrong way? I'm in.
No, no. Oh, that means you're staying.
Yeah, I'm staying. Doesn't that mean walking
Yeah,
the plank?
No, walking the plank is you're out. You're
You
jumping
guys
ship.
confused me. I thought I said walking the plank in the Charger segment. And you guys are like, wait, so you meant walking the plank.
It's what Justin said. If you're staying on the ship, that means you're going down with the ship and you're with it.
Yep.
You walk the plank, you're out.
Yeah, okay.
So you're staying. You're staying. You're not jumping. You're not walking.
Yeah, I'm not jumping. I think
Okay,
it's
you're
hopeless
staying.
doing that
Okay.
because Jimmy Garoppolo last week, this guy's coming off a season ending, or not season ending. He didn't have an off season. They didn't even give him the playbook because they thought they were going to send him maybe to a place like Seattle. So with all the things going up against Jimmy, he looked pretty fine in his first start of the season. Ultimately, this team's going to have an elite running game, one of the top offenses, and when healthy, this could be the best offense in the entire NFC. And that is in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo being terrible last year in the playoffs. The defense is top tier. The coach is top tier. And that blueprint of winning, I talked about it with the Browns. The Browns are now 2-1, and I think the 49ers very easily can still win this division. Now, can they win playoff games? Hell yeah. They were one simple Jaquiski Tart dropped interception away from going to the Super Bowl. And when looking at each and every single one of Jimmy Garoppolo's healthy seasons, the dude's had the best winning percentage in the entire league. He's went to the Super Bowl nearly twice. This team, we know exactly what they are. They don't have the highest of upside, but hell yeah, they can make it to the Super Bowl this year. That's not out of the realm of possibility. We said that last year, and look what happened. So I'm not out on this team at all.
You already know I'm not walking the plank on the 49ers. I know we're talking games tomorrow, but I'm going to jump the gun and I'm just going to straight up say it. They're going to win on Monday night. They're going to win on Monday night against the Rams.
We got a bet. We got our bet.
Yo, stop trying to make a bet with me.
No, we already
You're
got
trying
it,
to
though.
take
But we already got a
Oh.
bet. I said the
Okay, yeah,
Rams
you're
are going to
right.
sweep the 49ers.
So get ready.
No, you
I
get ready.
forgot.
Because they
You
catch
gotta
an
come
L.
to the. He's about to come on the show, guys, dressed as a freaking banana.
Nah,
the
he's
next
not going on a banana.
So-
No banana here. No
Listen,
banana
I'm
here.
rolling with the Niners still. I'm gonna ride this ship with the boys. I really think that it's just things are getting acclimated. Everybody's still meshing. It's the beginning of the season, and John touched on any point that I could have when he mentioned Jimmy G not having an off season. You can't do that to a quarterback. I understand you thought that you're probably sending him to Seattle, but no, he's here now. So it's time to get these gears running. Another week under the books now, and you're going against the Rams. And for the most part, you've had their number. You've had their number for the majority of the game. I believe. I'm not going to say the number because I might be absolutely wrong, but they were on a pretty decent winning streak against the Rams for quite a while before that NFC title game. I think they pick up right before that loss and they start winning again. They got the Rams, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Chiefs. I wouldn't be surprised if they win all of those games. I'm rolling with the Niners still.
Well, you know what? You guys can go down with the ship because I was already out and I'm still out, not coming back aboard.
You're such a negative Nancy.
I ain't no negative.
You really
I'm just
are.
the guy in the room who's telling you what you don't want to hear. All right.
To play devil's advocate, if they don't actually consistently get the ball to Kittle and those boys, they had 2 touches between Kittle, Debo, and Brandon Ayuk in the second half of that Broncos game. There is going to be a problem in San Francisco because those guys are too
That's not
talented
gonna
to
cut it.
not have it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You know what else is a problem? When your insurance policy needs an insurance policy. And what I mean by that is when Jimmy Garoppolo is your insurance policy, well, you need an insurance policy for him because he might get injured too. Who's to say? How many times has he played a full season?
Twice
Twice.
out of 4
How long
available
has he been in
years.
the NFL for? How long has he been in the NFL?
Well, he's only been a starter for 4 years. That was when he was traded to San Fran.
Yeah. Still a 50-50. So you're telling me it's a 50-50 shot. I'm not riding with it. And even if he is there, I don't think he's going to do anything. I don't believe in them. I still believe the Rams are the better team. I believe in Matthew Stafford. I believe in Sean McVay and Cooper Kupp. Watch out for that number 18 that they got. I saw a video recently before we came on here of Dan Orlovsky breaking him down and how he might be an X factor for that team to really open up the offense more. Look at the number 18,
Bo
white boy. Yeah,
Skoranek,
yeah,
the
yeah.
one that
White
can't
boy.
catch a pass.
How did he do last week?
Well, he's a good blocker.
Yeah.
I don't see that sustain itself.
Okay. All I'm saying is it's kind of like the Miami Dolphins. I like the whole team. I'm sold on the whole team except for the quarterback. So yeah, I'm not hopping. I was off the ship, so I'm not hopping back.
Can the
on
49ers
ship.
make it to the Super Bowl, Jimmy?
No,
They can't.
no.
Why not?
They're not getting
They've done it once.
Yeah, they did it once. Okay. They're not getting through the Rams. They're not getting through the Bucks, and they're not getting through the Packers.
They're not getting through the Packers.
I don't think so.
When was the last time
done it
they
before.
lost the Packers in the playoffs?
No, yeah, I agree with you, but I just don't think so.
Just don't think so. The Packers
Yeah.
are worse this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah.
No Devontae Adams.
So, still not sold on it comes down to the quarterback.
Well, Jimmy beats
And I
Aaron
agree
Rodgers
that
every
Aaron
time.
Rodgers hasn't played well. So I know people are instantly going to be like, well, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm saying I'm taking those top 3 teams over that team. Even in the playoffs, I believe Aaron Rodgers can beat a Jimmy Garoppolo-led San Francisco 49ers team. I believe that. Even though it hasn't happened and he hasn't looked good doing it, I still believe that Aaron Rodgers can do it.
Sure, he can. A lot of things can happen.
Yeah, a lot of things can happen. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers could have beaten the Patriots, but they didn't.
You want to be amazing, Justin? For somebody that hates Jimmy Garoppolo so much, wouldn't it be funny if this year in the playoffs he knocked out Tom Brady in his last year?
But it wouldn't happen, though.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
It
That
wouldn't.
would be insane.
It wouldn't, though.